Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Video Game Chronicles. But before I do this the news about the Analogue Nt and about the RetroN 5, I want to let everybody know that I'm going on hiatus from this channel after this video because I have other things to do besides video games and other stuff. Because the thing about, I'm going to be busy for the next couple of weeks, so I won't be doing videos, but they are coming. They will be coming pretty soon, sometime in June. I'll let you know when I'm coming back on this channel, and if there's going to be any more Video Game Chronicles gameplays, or news, or whatever not, or even reviews. I do plan on doing one review, and this review will be coming up soon. It'll probably be sometime in June, so I'll keep you posted for that. Now we're going to actually talk about, first I'm going to talk about the RetroN 5. Now for people that misunderstood me when I talked about the RetroN 5, I think it was back in April. Now I think of it. It was back in April, and I did a physical review. Now that was only a physical review. It's not there wasn't a it wasn't a full-blown review, and of course, unless I get a actual review copy, which I doubt, because I'm pretty much a low-budget person. I'm sorry I had to say that. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't get review copies from any company whatsoever. So until I actually get the RetroN 5, actual reviews of it are out. I just wanted to let everybody know that I probably won't be doing the RetroN 5 review anytime soon, a full-blown review. However, I do got some news about the RetroN 5. First off, I heard that on June 6th, the RetroN 5 is coming out. Yeah, that's what I heard. When I last checked on the internet, I saw that the RetroN 5 is coming out June 6th. So hopefully people will get to buy it. The only downside, really, I will say, if you have enough money to buy it, then you have the right to buy it. However, the price of it is $140. Now, I think that's the retail selling price. I think that's the retail selling price. It could be a lot cheaper, like at Amazon.com or your local store or whatever. So I will tell you that the RetroN 5 is coming out June 6th, and if you want to get it, go ahead. That's alright. Like I said, I mentioned a couple of the flaws with the RetroN 5 because I was kind of disappointed that they didn't have the Famicom expansion port, or they didn't have the NES control ports together, which could have made the NES Satellite or the NES 4-score work on it without having to use two extension ports. I really would have loved if they would have put the NES controller ports together. Well, I guess they wanted to separate them like the rest of the controller ports that they did. There's the Sega Genesis controller ports and the Super Nintendo controller ports as well. So, because like I said, the main flaws were mainly for the NES portion of the RetroN 5 and the Famicom portion of the RetroN 5. But besides that, it was no big deal. I wasn't really bashing Hyperkin or the RetroN 5 anyway. It's alright if you want to get it. That's okay. I'll be quite honest. If you want to get it, that's fine. That is okay with me. Now we're going to talk about the Analogue Nt, because now I will say that when I did my Analogue Nt release date video, I made a couple of errors. I said Tuesday instead of Monday, which I should have said Monday, but brain fart. 2, the lighting wasn't that good. I'm glad that that I'm having better lighting right now for this particular video. And I misinformed everybody that it was actually being released so you could actually buy it on May 5th. However, that's not the case. It's actually for pre-orders, actually. It's not for regular orders where you could just get it right away. The actual release of the Analogue Nt is not going to be until the summer of this year. Yeah, I made a couple of mistakes on that video, and I apologize. So if you thumbs down that one video because of it, I'm sorry about that, and I apologize. I made quite a few mistakes. Not on purpose, though. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be pre-orders or actual orders or whatnot. I later found out it was for pre-orders. Now let's get into what I think about the Analogue Nt and my big thoughts on it, because I'm going to do a physical review on this one too. However, I will say the physical review, even though I like how it looks, there are some things that still baffle me. Hopefully many questions will be answered when people get these Analogue Nt's. And yeah, I just got a few questions. Where's the reset button, and where's the on and off switch? Because when I looked at the Analogue Nt and how it's supposed to look, no, I don't know if it's actually going to look like that. Hopefully, once it actually comes out and people start getting them, maybe there'll be much more questions to be answered. But right now, I don't know if there's going to be a reset button or a on and off switch. I don't know where that's going to be. Because when I looked at the Analogue Nt, it didn't look like there was an on and off switch or a reset button. I don't know if that red button on the back was the on and off switch or the reset button. I don't know. That's one of the few things that will be answered when people get these Analogue Nt's. Now I'm going to tell you my I'm going to tell you the positives about the Analogue Nt. And a lot of questions were actually answered, and thank God that the questions that I asked were actually yes. Yeah, they were all the questions that I asked were yes. There's going to be a Famicom expansion port, which I'm happy about. What else did I mention? I also mentioned, will it work with the peripherals and stuff? Yes, it will. And and the price was also mentioned. So, another thing that I found out that was a yes is that it's going to have the actual audio channels that the Famicom has, which is a good thing. Now, even though I'm happy with all those things, there is a big negative to this Analogue Nt. Yep, sadly I have to say. And this is where I feel that Analogue Interactive dropped the ball. Now, Analogue Interactive released the consoleized MVS system, which is basically where you play Neo Geo games that are MVS games in the comfort of your home. Because the MVS was pretty much the arcade, Neo Geo arcade system. And when they released the consoleized MVS, it was reasonably priced. $650 was actually a reasonably priced system, which is actually good. This is where, and I'm talking about the Analogue Nt, this is where Analogue Interactive screws up. Now you thought maybe the price was going to be like $100, $200. Nope. They actually price it, and that's not all. That's not all. There's more. But I want to tell you that to get the system itself, it's going to cost you $500. $500, and I don't know why Analogue Interactive decided to do that price point with the Analogue Nt, especially when the consoleized MVS was reasonably priced, because the Neo Geo arcades are expensive as it is. NESs and stuff are actually cheap now to get. You can get a Famicom and an NES probably for like $90. You can probably get those both for $90. So I just don't get why Analogue Interactive decided to price the Analogue Nt at $500. Here's the worst part though. If you want to have add-ons for it, it's going to cost you even more. If you wanted a different color, you're going to have to pay $50 more. If you want the HDMI adapter for it, it's going to cost you another $50. So that's over $600. And if you add up tax, it's about, if you add those add-ons, it's about the same price as the consoleized MVS. And I don't know why Analogue Interactive decided to price it that high. Now I know that the Analogue Nt, the outer shell is going to be aluminum, but the thing about it, they didn't have to use aluminum to actually make the Analogue Nt. There were other sources that they could have done. They could have done it with plastic or wood or whatever not. They could have at least made the price cheaper. And that's why I feel that they dropped the ball on this system. Now I want to talk about which price point the Analogue Nt should have been. First off, I feel, and this probably would have sold more if it was this particular price. Now, for just the system alone, it should have been like $200. Like I said, $200. Of course, it would be like $199. And then if you want more for it, you can at least add another $50 each time. And the thing about it, Analogue Interactive might have made more money that way. But guess what? These are not going to sell well, because people can get like an NES or a Famicom for much cheaper than $500. This system is pretty much for the rich folks. And I think that's what Analogue Interactive wanted to hit. People that are rich and for people that can afford it. Unfortunately, for people like me, I can't afford it, so I'll probably never get it, unfortunately, and that's the sad part. If it would have been reasonably priced, I bet you Analogue Interactive would have sold more. I don't think this is going to sell as well as the consoleized MVS, because the consoleized MVS was reasonably priced, because the Neo Geo arcades, which of course are run by MVS carts, the arcade machines were expensive. So the consoleized MVS was reasonably priced. The Analogue Nt is not reasonably priced, and that's the thing about it, Analogue Interactive. You screwed up. I feel that if you would have made a reasonable price like $200, and if people wanted like add-ons or something or a different color, they could just add like $50 to it. That would have been reasonably priced, and you probably would have gotten more money there. However, you're not going to get as much, especially when people like me can't afford it, and that sucks. So it'll be a system that I'll never get. I'll never get it unless I win the lottery or something. And that's pretty much sad. And I feel that now, because Analogue Interactive put it at that price point, I feel that Hyperkin's RetroN 5 is going to outsell it. I really do. because I feel that Analogue Interactive screwed up on that department. I feel that it should have been lowered. It should have been like $200 and $50 extra for add-ons, and Analogue Interactive would have gotten a lot more money that way. Sometimes when you raise the price, it doesn't always mean you're going to get more money. Sometimes it's best for you to reasonably price something so you can get more money. This is not reasonably priced, and because of that, you're going to lose money. I'm sorry, Analogue Interactive, you're going to lose money because of this. And that's my thoughts about the Analogue Nt and the RetroN 5. I feel that the RetroN 5 is going to sell much more than the Analogue Nt, unfortunately. And it's kind of sad, especially when the Analogue Nt was much more, when people are going to get it's definitely going to be the better system. However, it's not going to sell as well as the RetroN 5, sadly. So, that's my thoughts about the RetroN 5 and the Analogue Nt. And I thank you very much for watching this video. And I will be back pretty soon, sometime in June, for another video. So watch out for that, and I'll keep you posted, okay? But for right now, peace out. And I'm going on hiatus for now, but I will be back. So peace out. Thanks for watching. Happy gaming.